The Cold Blue Moon of Hurston. Journey to Magda. I looked down at my computer. A message streamed across the screen. Hey Nico, need your eyes on Magda. Rumors of a smuggling operation near HDMS-Hahn. Looks like they are running fully crewed M2. Bring your scope and patience. I need only confirmation that they are there. Another quiet job, another frozen world. Magda, Stanton 1C. A moon that looks calm from orbit, but never truly is. I powered up the ship and plotted a jump from Hurston. From orbit, Magda shimmered like oxidized steel. Bands of blue-green soil cut across a pale icy crust. A beautiful world in a void. The navigation display scrolled data. Thin atmosphere, 98% nitrogen and 1.5% methane. Trace hydrogen. Surface pressure a third of standard, enough to blur the horizon but not enough to slow you down. Gravity 0.86 G, almost Earth-like, but heavier than it feels when you walk on frosted stone. Temperatures swing between -80 and barely 5 degrees Celsius. The day here lasts less than 2 hours. The fastest sunrise you will ever see. It's a world that lives and dies with the clock of a heartbeat. As I descended, the HUD flickered with ion interference. Methane crystals brushing the hull. They named this place after Magda Hurston, the executive who purchased Stanton 1 from the UEE, turning it into the corporation's private kingdom. Under her leadership, the moons of Hurston were mapped, mined, and militarized. Every one of them bears the signature of her family's greed. Aberdeen's scars, Ariel's fires, and Magda's cold emptiness. But Magda was different. It was not blasted or burned. It was suffocated by neglect. Decades of mining and chemical waste froze its soil into poisoned ice. Now only outposts remain. Hahn, Perlman, small industrial hearts still beating in the cold. I put her down 4 kilometers from HDMS-Hahn. The landing gear touched permafrost with a hollow thud. I went into the stealth mode. Outside the wind was thin. You could see it in rippling snow dust but barely hear it. The horizon was empty, except for the outpost. A cluster of metallic structures pierced by antenna spires and solar grids. I set up the scope on the ridge and let the zoom crawl over the compound. Magda's surface is a historical imprint of ancient volcanic activity and corporate geology. Billions of years ago, Hurston's gravity pulled its molten core into stress fractures. Those fractures cooled into pegmatite veins, ribbons of crystal metallic salt. That's where miners found their fortune. Iron, copper, and trace elements like beryl and titanium. But there's something else in the soil. Spectral readings show ammonium chlorides and methane hydrates, frozen chemicals that shimmer blue in sunlight. They are responsible for Magda's signature color, a false serenity that masks lethality. Touch the ground barehanded and you will burn before you freeze. Through the scope, the outpost looks quiet. Cargo crates lined in rows, automated loaders crawl back and forth. I watch for signs of activity that don't fit the routine. Thermal signatures by the north storage pads. A pair of vehicles idling with lights off. No scheduled departures on the communication suite. That's how smuggling works out here. The moon is too cold to care. While waiting, I study the rocks through the scope's polarizer. The rock formations near Hahn are metamorphic, heated by past impact events, then fractured by tidal stress. To the north, crater fields stretch for hundreds of kilometers. Each impact dug through the upper frost and released methane plumes that once formed temporary atmospheric haze. Some of those plumes still flicker in infrared, tiny ghost vents exhaling after millennia of sleep. Then, an explosion. Sound barrier as a large M2 military hauler exited Quantum. I watched it as it touched down on a landing pad, engines cooling in the thin air. Two figures emerged from behind the freight hauler. They moved deliberately, carrying something cylindrical between them on a gravitational cart. Behind them, a ground vehicle, powered up silently, its lights off. No corporate logos, no transponders. The smuggling rumor became fact, recorded in the dust and silence of Magda. I packed the AO3 and moved quietly back to the ship. Engines ignite on minimal thrust, with shields down and gear up. Low to the ground, through the canyon, keeping my signature low for a while before starting the ascent. As we climb, the outpost shrinks to a cluster of lights in the blue mist. Magda's surface fades beneath us, the colors merging into a single iridescent band. The scanners flatten to black, and the moon turns small again, just a dot against Hurston's massive face. Humanity was never built to stop at one world. Even on a moon this cold, this quiet, we find a reason to stay. Profit, curiosity, survival. Magda embodies that instinct, the urge to extract, to endure, to belong in places that reject us. It's beautiful from a distance, merciless up close, and utterly human in its contradiction. Maybe that's why we keep coming back, to prove that even in a frozen void, we can still leave a heartbeat behind. This is Magda, the cold blue moon of Hurston. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the journey.